and it's a bird. It's a plane. No, wait. It's Thompson's Comic Corner.
What?
I think we did that pretty well.
Yeah, nailed it. Just
See,
like just like rehearsal. Yeah.
you did the like that sounded like Scooby Doo. You should have done that when we did Cap Wolf.
Oh, I was going for the intro to Home Improvement.
Oh yeah, all right.
That's
I
what
can
I was
see
going
that's
for.
from Tim Allen.
Yeah.
All right, fair point, fair point. Well, hello, people. We are, Zach and George. We're always here. Um, we read a Superman book tonight. It was a pretty damn good one too.
Yeah, I hadn't read this one before. It's a pretty good book.
Yeah, for you folks that have no idea what we're talking about at the moment, we read Superman for All Seasons. And if you don't know, it's by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. And
Hmm.
they did a whole ton of books together. And we just recently found out tonight that they did a Wolverine and Gambit book that's quite possibly might be really close to their first work together.
Yeah, I had no idea until doing a little bit of research. Like, there's a bunch of big books these two have worked on together. You've mentioned before, I think even on this podcast, that The Long Halloween is one of your favorite books, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So there's The Long Halloween, which I feel like is probably their best known work, especially from DC. They also did Dark Victory, which I feel like follow-up sequel, but not as well known, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's the sequel to The Long Halloween, and then there's another one. I believe The Haunted Night comes out
Yeah.
after that.
And that was like a collection of like one-shots they worked on
Yeah,
together, right? Yeah.
yeah. And then
But
you
there's
have When in
the
Rome, the Catwoman story that's like in between The
I've
Long
never
Halloween.
I've never read that. You say it's excellent.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Okay. I know it's beautiful. Tim Sale is a, pardon my French here, goddamn genius when making art. I feel weird for saying this now. Like, I don't think that guy's made like a bad decision in terms of art. I know
No.
we talked a little bit about one of your hang-ups with Tim Sale, and I can't wait to get into that during the book about some women looking similar.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the only pet peeve I have with
sure.
any of their books.
We'll get into that when we're talking about Lois and Lana, the two LLs in Superman's life. But man, besides that, like they're best known for like their color books from Marvel, right? When you think
Yep.
of Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, do you think of Marvel or do you think of DC?
See, now here's I love so Batman is quite possibly my favorite character, and The Long Halloween, I believe, is the best Batman story. So when
Okay.
I think of them, I think of The Long Halloween. But with that said, though, my favorite Marvel character is Daredevil. So when I think of Daredevil, I think of Daredevil Yellow.
Do you think Daredevil Yellow is better than Spider-Man Blue?
Yes.
You do. Okay, because Spider-Man
Yes.
Blue, really freaking good book. I don't get to do this very often on your show, but I actually have recorded an episode on Spider-Man Blue with my buddy Carlos, who is the most well-informed Spider-Man fan I've ever met in my entire life. So I love having him on to talk Spider-Man books. We absolutely talk Spider-Man Blue on Shortbox Summary. I hate to hijack your show to pump my show, but check out older episodes of Shortbox Summary for Spider-Man Blue with Carlos.
Listen to them all, baby. There's 60 plus episodes on there. Go listen to them all.
I hear there's a new episode coming out this week. Not this week you're hearing this, but this week we're recording. So
Let's
actually
go.
with Carlos, we're talking Spider-Man Human Torch, that miniseries from 2005.
See, look, there's another
Yeah,
shameless plug.
there it is. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done talking about myself. Let's keep this about the characters. I I think their DC work is probably better, but I feel like their Marvel work is probably better known just because the Color series felt really important for Marvel, especially at the time, right? Like that was coming out in the early 2000s. It was right when they were coming out of bankruptcy and like Marvel was in a position where they had to put out bangers. DC a bit more stable in their publishing department and damn dude, how Long Halloween's a perfect book. Like
It is beautiful. It is quite
it is a
possibly the
perfect
best.
book. Despite the fact that Jeff Loeb is seemingly not the best guy from online research I've done and his certain comments about certain groups of people, we're just going to leave it there.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too into that. I want to talk about the work, but Jeff Loeb kind of seems like a piece of shit. Um, but man, Long Halloween, perfect book. Dark Victory, very good book. Superman for All Seasons. I had never read this before suggesting it to you. I think that is probably why I suggested it was I realized I never read it. And I'm like,
and
it's time to cross this off the list.
we were looking for something. So when we plan these episodes, they're not planned very well. It's more along the lines of like convenience sakes. So,
It's
a little background.
it's that our text messages are literally just like, "Oh, I just read this book. It's awesome." And you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, cool. That sounds sick. I'll read that soon." And then it is like, "Hey man, have you ever read this book?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." Or, "Yes, I have. It's good. It's bad. It's whatever." Those are our conversations, and it's just like, you want to talk about it? Like
Yep.
I had never read Cap Wolf, and I'm just like, "Yeah, screw it. I should probably read this book that is so brought up so often, right? Like I should know what I'm talking about when this book is referenced." And then this book, Superman for All Seasons, I'm like, it's weird that there's a Jeff Loeb Tim Sale book that I haven't read.
Well, and so they are so good at, and this is all the books. This would be the Color series and Batman the Long Halloween. They're so good at retelling origin stories. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't care to know why. But Jeff Loeb is so damn good at rewriting the history, and Tim Sale is just so good at making it look beautiful.
Yeah.
And like I can't argue that. And they're all bangers. All
They
of them.
are all bangers. Maybe my favorite story by them. This is gonna sound like real inside baseball nerd shit, and I'm sorry. They a book that was really popular when I was first getting into comics in 2004, 2005-ish was Superman Batman. And I remember reading that because at the end of issue 6, there was this shot of Lex Luthor in his typical armor saying a crisis is coming. And that was the first time they kind of like alluded to Infinite Crisis as an event that was on the horizon, which, if you want to hear more about that story, there's some pretty good episodes of Thompson's Comic Corner where we talk about the countdown to Infinite Crisis and Infinite Crisis itself. But listen to that
I
on
think
your own
there's
time.
about five of them.
But the trade paperback for the first 6 issues, that is a Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness book, I believe,
I think you're
who
right.
I think used to live in Maine. I'm not sure if he still lives in Maine. I think he lived in Brewer, Maine, which is not that far from me. And he would occasionally stop by the comic shop and sign some books that people could
That'd
buy,
be sick.
which was really cool. But there was like a little like 4 to 6 page short by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale at the beginning of the trade paperback for Public Enemies, where it's basically like Bruce Wayne as a kid after his parents had died, and he was like traveling across the country with Alfred, and he like stops by Smallville, and
Hmm.
Clark is like playing baseball with a bunch of friends, and it's like the two of them are both like dual narrating the story, and just like, I don't know if he remembers this, but like I've seen him before. And then Clark's like, yeah, of course I remember this. This is like one of the moments where like I feel like I failed the most, by like not inviting Bruce to come play baseball with him. And then Bruce just like talking about like seeing him, and just like doing like the full Americana dream shit. Really good stuff. And again, it's like a 4 page story, but it is Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. And that is like one of my favorite, just like the economy of it, right? Like how short it is and how powerful the idea behind it was for something so short. Um, and it really feels like that it doesn't fit in with Superman for All Seasons, but the idea behind it absolutely fits in with the idea of Superman for All Seasons.
So for everybody that has never read this book
Oh, sorry,
or
yeah,
books, sorry, because I read the trade paperback version of it on DC Infinite.
same.
Um, it's a four-part miniseries, and it is, how do I put this? It's in the name. 4 seasons, all 4 seasons. So it starts in spring, we go to summer, we go to fall, and then we go to winter. but each book has a different narrator. So you have Paul Kent is book one,
Hmm.
book two is Lois Lane,
Hmm.
book three is Lex Luthor, and then finally book four is Lana Lang.
Yeah.
And it pretty much, I want to say it covers the whole year of when Superman he graduates high school to when he becomes Superman. He tries it. He feels lost and
It,
overwhelmed. Goes
it's
back to Smallville. Comes back.
imagine like the demo version of your favorite album, right? Like all the pieces are there, but it's not exactly right, right?
Right.
Like he's there, he's doing the things, but like he hasn't become Superman yet. Like Superman, the stereotype, the archetype Superman.
Yes.
He is Superman the character, but something's just not right. And this is him trying to get into the right mindset of being Superman.
Yes. Yes. And if you've ever read, didn't Jeff Loeb? He did Birthright, didn't he?
No, that was Mark Wade.
Oh, oops. Sorry.
Mark Wade and Lionel Yu.
I get all the good writers mixed up. I apologize.
No, that's fair. They both have like very similar styles where it is like a sort of timeless take on the
Yes.
characters where a
Yes.
Mark Wade book you could read it and it's just like, oh shit, this Mark Wade book came out 30 years ago, but you can't tell. Oh, the shit, this Mark Wade book came out yesterday, but it feels like it came out 30 years ago. And I feel
Yeah.
like Jeff Loeb, for the most part, with miniseries in particular, don't love his ongoings. The Batman Hush 2, not a great book.
I haven't read the last issue yet because I was so
It's
pissed that it took forever.
that was because of health problems from Jim Lee. So I'm like, all right, like I don't care. I hope Jim Lee is doing well. That's all I care about. He, as a person, you're more important as a person than you are as like a comic book creator. And I know you feel the same way. Like
Yes, sir.
life is life, health is wealth. I know you feel that way. Um, I just think that writing in that book is like supreme dog shit.
It's
So like,
awful. It's so bad.
yeah.
It's
And I'm
definitely
like
not Superman for all seasons.
literally just buying it to complete the run, all I care about.
I won't
Um,
even buy it. I'll read it digitally.
no, I have every other issue in that run, man. I'm not cutting it short, even though I should out of protest. I'm not going to. But um, Jeff Loeb's mini series that he writes in particular, the Color series, the Batman series. I haven't read Catwoman When in Rome. I haven't read Challengers of the Unknown, and I literally had no idea about that Wolverine Gambit book until a half hour ago.
I can tell you
So,
right now, as soon as we get off here, if I don't fall asleep, I'm 100% going to
oh,
start it.
I'm falling asleep reading that book. I can't wait. I've got a bunch of reviews due
Happening.
for AIPT next week. That's whatever. I'll do that shit on Sunday. I need to read that book just to see like their first collaboration together. But there is a timeless quality to it, right? Especially with Tim Sale's art. Like it looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. Like it looks like the most classic interpretation of the past that you could possibly want. And God, it looks so good. It's so pretty to look at.
It is. It's so gorgeous. From when we get into like perfect example, you get so much detail and so many different backgrounds, and you get so much issue one. And I want people to go read this book so bad because it literally takes me on like one hell of a journey.
Yeah,
And I like it. And I've always found that like Superman, the older I've gotten, the more I've liked Superman.
thousand
But
percent. Yeah,
like growing up, like he's just so fucking white bread and vanilla and boring. And I feel bad for saying that all these years because like this story is so like you see the human side and he's an alien. He's more human than I am.
1,000%. Yeah.
And you see, like, we start out like the first page that we actually get to see of Superman, like he's flying, he's already Superman. And then we go back and we go onto the farm with him and Paul Kent. And then you go into the soda shop with him, Pete, and Lana, and the old people playing you always have those old people playing either
Yeah,
Jeopardy,
or they playing, yeah, playing euchre in the corner or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
or cards, like, yeah. And then and then he gets to Metropolis, and then you get introduced to Lois, and I love that she calls him Smallville. I
Hmm.
love that in this book.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. I got to get the tangent out of the way since I mentioned Lois. Okay, Selena Kyle and Lois are the same character, and Lana Lang and Harvey Dent's wife are the same character. Can't tell
Yeah.
me nothing.
No, I hear you. There's not a lot of variety with the women in Tim Sale art, which is disappointing because like the men are drawn so different, right? Like looking at the body
Yes,
language of Lex, even looking at the body language of like Clark compared to Pete, even like
yes.
Pa and Ma Kent, like Ma Kent looks different. But like
Now,
the idea of a babe in the Tim Sale universe, they all look 95% the same.
all right, now I will tell you this though, that if you have a crush on Lois in this book, go read Catwomen When in Rome and open up to the first 5 pages.
Okay.
That's
All
all I gotta
right.
say. That's
Well,
all
if
I
I'm still awake after Wolverine Gambit, I will throw on
got.
Catwoman when in Rome. Um I I think you're right by calling that out, but also again, um man, they look so good.
They do.
Right?
and
Like
and all the characters do. I mean,
yeah.
and like he actually has, and you say like every character is different, like the other characters, and even Clark Kent and Superman are different. He actually nails like the posture down because they don't stand well.
Oh, Clark looks like he's like doughy, right? Like
Yes.
he looks borderline like overweight when he's shown in his suit and he's fumbling and he's like pushing up his glasses or whatever.
Yep.
He looks uh a little pudgy. And then like you see Superman and it totally looks like the same character just like after a makeover. Like it's
Yep.
so well done. The differences are subtle but stark, right? Like there it's really good. One quick thing I want to talk about. You mentioned that like each of the four issues, the spring, summer, fall, winter issues, they're each narrated by a different character.
Yep.
I think that's brilliant. I think that's really cool. One, to make the focus of the book Superman, but from the perspective of different people. Because like I think Superman is a hard character to write. You mentioned how much you used to not like Superman. I was the exact
Yes.
same way. I was just like, oh, here's boring Boy Scout, like when I was like 14, 15, and like didn't know anything about the character. And back then, all I cared about was like Batman brooding on a gargoyle statue saying, I am vengeance, I am the night. Like that was the coolest, hardest thing to
I'm
me.
the goddamn Batman.
Batman. That was All-Star Batman. That was coming out when I was in high school. I kind of like that book. Maybe we should like hate read that book for Thompson's Comic Corner, right? Like the 10
That's
issues of
so
that.
funny.
We could do that.
Listen, as mean as Batman is in that book, that line will live rent free in my head
No,
until the day I die.
there's I think there might be more to like about that book than dislike in this day and age, but that's a different episode. The older I get, man, I don't think that's as cool anymore. Now what I think is cool is Superman like giving people a second chance, wanting to believe in the best. Like I feel like I've been hope core pilled by Superman over the last like 10 years. And like that shit is way more interesting to me now. Like believing in humanity, giving them a chance to learn and grow is way more important to me. And I didn't I didn't get that feeling from this book. But the fact that it was four different narrators, I think is brilliant. Not just because how do you write Superman seems like a hard character, right?
Yep.
But the fact that it's like it's a Superman book that's not about Superman, right? Like it's about everyone's different
Everybody
ideas
around him.
about Superman, right? It's like you
Yes.
get like the loving father from John Kent. You get Lois Lane who's like kind of using him, right? Because it's just like this is like her golden meal ticket. She like talks about how like Lex Luthor used to be like the guaranteed way to get on the front page of
Yeah,
the
now
Daily
it's
Planet. Now
Superman.
it's Superman.
Yep.
And like I'm not shitting on Lois when I say that because I know she's a good person and I know she cares about Superman. But the fact that she started out that way, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then having Lex Luthor who just sees him as like a nemesis, and then Lana Lang who just sees him as just like she thought she saw the entire future. Like she thought she understood the world, and then Clark shattered it when he like revealed his powers to her.
Which,
Okay, yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
which that kind of irritated me. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. This man was so nervous to tell her this. He tells her, I can fly. I'm letting you in on the only person that knows this secret besides my mom and dad, and you leave me.
That I think is really interesting, especially uh sorry to make this like a little political, but like it felt like a coming out issue, right? Like admitting to someone you were gay and then like this person just like completely writes you off, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
and so I'm just like, "Oh shit, that's really interesting that that was her reaction." Was to just like walk away. She's just like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, I'm not dealing with this. I thought that was really bold, honestly,
It's
of
human,
the
though.
creative team to it absolutely is. But I thought it was really bold to write it that way. Because like
Yeah.
it was like him being like, Lana, like I know you're planning this future with me. I know actually Clark probably didn't know because he's like the most humble, unsuspecting person ever. So he probably did know that like Lana was in love with him, according to this story. And I know DC continuity is whatever the fuck writers want it to be. But in this story, Lana was in love with him and like
Yeah, she was gonna marry him, have kids, all
she thought he was gonna propose. And then he told her that like he had these powers and then took her flying over Smallville. But like it was written like a coming out issue, right? Where he's just like, I need you to know the truth about me. He reveals the truth, and then she fucking runs away. She just like bails.
and she blamed him that it's his fault. Woman, that is your fault.
No, don't do that. Like I don't know about that. I don't think she handled it the best for sure. But
No.
also, I don't know. Like imagine someone telling you they're essentially a mortal, invincible god, man. Like I'm not gonna pretend to be like, can I throw like a plate against you? Like, oh, you're so strong. Can I throw this against you? What happens?
That
Like,
would be like your class. That's like your classic, like what was that? The Spider-Man movies where
sure,
his buddy found out. Yeah,
sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could see that.
But
I
like
don't know.
I'm
To be honest with you, I don't know how
not
I
gonna
would
pretend, you
react.
know.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if somebody just took me, first off, I'd be scared. I don't like when people pick me up, so I'd probably be terrified. I'd be screaming. They'd know that I was in panic.
Sure, but keep in mind that all Lana ever wanted was Clark to take her hand and pick her up.
And he did.
He did. I
He
think
sure
she
did.
I think she thought they were like about to like dance and he was going to propose to her, right? Like that was like the preeminent thought that Lana had. And then he just like reveals the truth to her and she just couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen. She had to bail.
I know, and I felt so bad for Clark because Clark was sad. And then, he meets Lois, and you can see like the little flirtatious thing from Clark, not from Lois. Lois was all business. She don't give a
Yeah.
damn, dude. She's an independent woman. She out there writing her story. She making a living, career first, baby.
And how? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and I like it. Now, the only character I didn't really care, I don't really care for Lex Luthor. I do,
He
but I don't.
he was really one-dimensional in this,
Yes,
like cartoon villain in this,
yes,
which because of the iconography of Tim Sale's art, because of it being so like nostalgic, classically represented, I was okay with for him being like such a joke of a villain, like just evil for
right.
evil's sake, angry for angry's sake. But I do think that was probably the weakest issue, even though like it had the most action and like probably had the most important like political commentary just about like private citizens providing for people, taking umbrage with how someone else was providing services. Like that stuff I thought was
Yeah,
interesting, but no, man, he was essentially a Scooby-Doo villain in that issue, right? Like all
yeah.
these damn kids was like his entire basis for hating Clark or sorry, Superman in that issue. So like I'm with you, like really weakly written, probably the worst issue, which sucks because I think fall for Superman for all seasons should have been more romantic, even though winter ended up being the most romantic. Irony because it's the coldest, most desolate month, but whatever. Yeah.
No, I really like, and in winter you get so Lana Lang's like narrating it, and we're at the beginning of it, and she's like talking about like she knows that Clark is Superman, and in the same time, that's when we have Lois going, Clark, where are you? Like, you
Hmm.
always have just you just up and take the time off when he's gone and all this, and she's just sitting at his desk, and she's like, no way. Like
Yeah.
thinking it's like, no, come on, put two and two together. We know you can.
Well, that's really good too,
It's so
especially
funny.
because I think it was the Lex Luthor issue. It might have been the Lois Lane. It might have been Summer. Like it might have been the second issue. But like when she's like over Clark's desk and like reading his notes and seeing the LL and thinks it's about her, and then Clark's like, "It's Lana Lang. You
Yep.
don't know her." Like I'm just like, "Oh fuck, that is such like good like eat shit, Lois." You know,
Yeah,
like
it's so this book is just it's so good. And I don't know, man. Jeff Loeb at that time, they were cooking.
dude had his fastball. Tim Sale invented the fastball with a book like this. One character I want to talk to you about because I couldn't get a great read on him, Pete Ross.
Yeah, his character was kind of yeah.
Well, it's tough because like so many other interpretations of Superman, and I know it's weird to talk about other stuff, but like we're trying to do like comparisons and contrast here. So many other interpretations of Superman, what he reveals to Lana is what he reveals to Pete. Right? Like it's like a best
Yeah,
friend that you finally open up to and be like, "Hey man, I know you're pissed at me for dogging on certain aspects of our friendship. Here's why. There was a tornado 3 towns over. I'm fucking Superman. I went over to help those people." Like
that shit was badass though.
that's the reveal. Oh, that part was awesome. Yeah,
That
when he
was
like
sick.
when he saved like the poker players, yeah, that part
Yes,
was really good. But that's like usually like the reveal made to Pete. Usually Pete is the first person he like comes out to as Superman. Like that was what it was in Smallville. That is what it was in Superman the animated series, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Don't hold me to that. I haven't rewatched it in a minute. About to rewatch it. I'm about to finish Batman the animated series and then jump right into Superman. I'm very excited. It's been my fall asleep show recently. But
hell yeah.
he just seemed like a bitter dude in this book, and I kind of get it because like everyone else was like living his dream, right? Like Lana left, Clark left. He expected to leave and like find his fortune and strike it hot and become important. And I think he took it personally that like Lana left to be anonymous, Clark left to be famous. And that's of course like with a grain of salt, but that's like how Pete
Right.
looks at it, right? Like him going to like work at a paper, get his name in the paper. Like that's him interpreting it as Clark going to be famous, and Lana just disappeared and like traveled the world and no one
To
knew where
be
she was.
to be honest with you, I wish that we would have gotten instead of Lex Luthor, which I understand it, but I wish that we could have got Pete's point of view for issue
Yeah.
3.
No, it
It would have been
probably
so
should have
much
been
better.
a 5 issue mini, but like
Yeah.
there's 4 seasons, so like that theme would have been lost. But oh, man,
Yeah,
this
he was
book is
mad.
this book
He
is
was
good.
he was
Yeah,
mad because
he was super mad, a super bitter person, right? Like
yeah,
couldn't
and
couldn't handle the cards that life dealt him, which is funny because he was always like commenting on the poker game, and he
yes.
hated the cards that he was dealt. So like I think that was some intentional artistic direction by Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb there.
I also love that when Clark and Lana both come back, one of the guys isn't there because he had like heart
He had
problems or
he had
something. And he's like, yeah,
angina, yeah.
yeah. He was like, and I've only been telling him that for all these years. And they're like, thank you, doctor. Like, I love that. Like, that banter is so funny.
I live in a small town. How small is your town?
Let's see. I think we're considered a small town or a big town.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we're decently sized.
I live in a town of like 1,100 people at most,
Oh yeah, no, we got more than that.
and I live on an island of like 8 to 9,000 people at most, maybe 10. Um, and so like I just immediately felt at home when they were walking through Smallville, like just
Yeah.
the comfort. There's like that one great scene where Clark is just like, "Oh, Lana, you just reminded me I have to go get a haircut," and then he goes to get a haircut, and his guy's shears break on his hair, right?
That was cool.
But like the
But
comfort of the small town immediately familiar to me being from extremely rural New England.
but then I
And
think about like the hair part and I'm like, how the hell do you explain that you literally just broke this man's scissors just with your hair?
I mean, he was an old, unsuspecting guy, and just he was just like, "Oh, never seen that before." And I think his comment was just like, "Oh, they just don't make stuff like they used to," right? And again, like this is a book that is focused on the past, and even they're focused on the past, right? Like
Yep.
you can't, no one's ever going to be happy. With all these movements to like make things like they were before, and then you realize like, oh man, the way things were before, that wasn't shit. Like everyone's gold tinted glasses, rose tinted glasses, whatever you want to call it. Um, they were wrong. They were wrong about the past that they idolized so much.
So, is there anything else you want to add?
About this book, I just want to double down and say having the book told from everyone's perspective around Clark is really smart, especially since like Superman didn't know who he was, so actually having him be a narrator didn't ultimately make sense. So to have everyone's opinions be like the driving linchpin of this book, incredibly smart. Theming it
Yes.
around 1 year throughout the seasons, I don't know how much that added to the writing of the book, but it definitely added to the art of the book and just like letting Tim Sale cook in showing Smallville in the winter, showing it raining, and then showing like a sweltering metropolis in the summer. Uh, all that stuff. Like they just made a bunch of smart decisions to tell a book that I consider timeless, right?
Yeah.
Like this is
Yes,
a
it's very timeless.
Superman book that made sense 30 years ago when it came out. It's a Superman book that makes sense today. I think it's great. Problems with Jeff Loeb aside, Tim Sale, rest in peace. I know he passed away a few years ago. This book is fucking excellent. Book's really good.
Yeah, I'll double down on that. It is 110% a recommend from me. I would definitely be like, hey, if you want a good jumping on point, like a good like origin, it's it's easy to read. It's fast. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
I think I probably read this in like 40 minutes.
Honestly, the hardest part about reading this book is the cursive that the narration is in, just
Yes.
because that is a small font and it's not the most deliberate cursive handwriting. It's supposed to be like journal entries for all these people, right? But like that was the hardest part about reading this book was like squinting to see it. I was even using my glasses and I was still struggling a little bit. But thankfully on digital you can zoom in
Yep. Oh
pretty good.
yeah. Or you could double tap and make it just the one panel.
Yeah, I don't like that. I get really claustrophobic when I do that. I feel like I'm missing so much of the world, and then I feel
It's
like I'm
nice to do when you're on your phone.
when you're on your phone, sure, but like I feel
Yeah.
like I'm Animal Man realizing he's in a comic book when that happens, and then that's when I get like self-conscious. I'm like, oh fuck, like not like this. Like don't trap me in here like this. I think the trade paperback we read on DC Infinite was 177
Yep.
pages.
Somewhere,
But
yeah, really close.
a bunch of two-page spreads with like 3 to 4 caption boxes and like a couple dialogue boxes. Really good stuff. I really like the winter issue. I think that's probably the strongest one just because Lana was so hurt by Clark revealing himself to her and then realizing like oh, like no one understands Superman. Why would someone with this much power, why would they only care about doing good? And it's because they don't know Clark Kent and nothing else makes sense, right? Like that I'm paraphrasing, but
Yeah.
that's essentially what she said. And like man, that is it's really simple. It's fucking beautiful, man, right? Like just
It is a
realizing like
masterpiece.
the heart of someone and understanding them on such an intimate level. Like I hate to sound basic, but I'm such a sucker for that stuff, man. It really cut me into reading that stuff. I didn't love her dialogue in that, like when she was like trying to explain that to Clark, but I thought
Yeah.
I thought her narration boxes did a good job of making up for what I thought was lackluster dialogue in that issue in particular.
Yeah, I really liked the winter one and I liked spring. I liked Paul Kent's point of view.
Really, really good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Especially, have you been watching that show, My Adventures with Superman?
I tried to and then I fell asleep.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's any good or if I'm just old.
I think you might be old. I really like the
Yeah.
first season. I really like the second season. I think the third season just started. But that is another show that I think does a really good job of just getting to like the intimate moments of someone caring about someone else. And again, hate to sound like a basic bitch when I say this, but caring about other people is really cool to me, man. And like this book is about people who care about even the Lex issue. He cares about Superman. He cares about him negatively, but
Yep.
like he's still like obsessing about Superman in a way where he like sees everything he's doing and he's like calculating like how can I undermine this? How can I make this to my advantage? But like he cares about Superman just in like a the screwed up psychotic way. But like the Pa Kent issue, the Lois issue, the Lana Lang issue, just seeing these people care about someone and try to understand someone who cares about everyone else, I thought was beautiful. And like that's the shit I read comics for.
Did you notice that from issue 1 to issue 3, Lex's hair keeps thinning out?
I did not notice that, but that is
Yes.
great. I thought he had a lot of hair in the first issue, and then I
Yes.
thought he looked like a weird, like the fourth stooge, right?
Yeah, he
Like
100% is
it,
missing hair on both sides.
I didn't pick up on that, but
Yep.
that is another great detail from the master Tim Sale.
Yeah, I 100% picked that up. So, all right, closing.
Yeah,
Go read the damn book.
go read the damn book.
Go read Batman the Long Halloween. Go read
Yeah,
all the color books.
honestly, yeah, the only books I haven't read are When in Rome. You say that's really good, so
Oh, it is.
I trust you
You
when
get
you
a lot
say
of, so if you've
that's really
ever
good.
read The Long Halloween and if you ever read Dark
Dark Victory.
Victory, you get answers to questions that you had, it revolving around the family,
Okay, the
the Falcone
Falcones.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Falcone family.
All right. I haven't read Challenge of the Unknown. I haven't read Wolverine and Gambit, and I haven't read When in Rome. I've read
Wolverine.
everything else. I even read Solo #1, which is like an artsy book from DC. It's bi-monthly. It was 48 pages. I think it was only like 12 issues. It was like an anthology book, but like they worked together on the first issue.
Okay.
And man, this just doesn't happen very often. Again, like I've aired my problems with Jeff Loeb on this podcast. But just seeing two people who click, like I've read other Jeff Loeb books, like Ultimatum sucks shit. Like that book is really bad. Jeff Loeb can't make magic with anyone. He can make magic with Tim Sale.
Oh yeah. And Tim Sale can't make magic. His his shit. He didn't do a lot of work. Tim Sale did not. Like if you go and look at like his work, there's not very many that aren't with Jeff Loeb.
Mm.
Because I looked him up and like his only Marvel work, he did like maybe like 4 issues of like random Marvel books, but it was mainly just cover work. If he was doing interiors, it was usually just him and Jeff Loeb.
Yeah, I'm also willing to forgive him for that, just because such like a unique like it was watercolors, right?
I
Like
believe, yeah.
not a lot of painters in the comic space. Like I know there's like Joe Jusko, I know there's Alex Ross, but like even then, like Tim Sale stood out amongst his contemporaries who worked in similar mediums as him. I remember he did a bunch of covers for Batgirl towards the end of that series, and like
Yeah.
that, I think I bought those just because he did it. Um,
I have a couple random like classic X-Men covers that he did.
yeah, the guy was just really special, and it's really hard to think of him without thinking of Jeff Loeb, just because they were such a titan team together. So Jeff Loeb, problematic person, great writer, especially in miniseries, ongoing books, kind of dog shit. Don't love Hush 2, don't love Ultimatum, don't love a bunch of other random Marvel projects I remember from that era. Oh, you know what Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb did do together too that we didn't talk about? Did you ever see that show Heroes?
Nope.
Jeff Loeb was like a supervising writer on that, so like pretty high up dude. And then there's this one person who can like see the future and can like paint what's going to happen. And all the paintings were by Tim Sale
That's sick.
in that show. The first season of Heroes, fucking incredible. Cannot recommend that showing up. Second season was like during the writer's strike in like '07, '06, '08, like around that time frame. Not very good. They tried to steer the ship right in season three. That was not good. And then I think after season four was canceled and there was like a reunion season, whatever. The first season is impeccable. Can't recommend that show enough.
All right, folks. Well, I want to thank you for joining George and I. And I got to do a couple shout outs to the sponsors. They don't pay me yet, but we're getting there. We got Outworld Fleet Radio. We stream every Thursday and Tuesday nights. Thursday is the new episode, 8 p.m., which, while we were recording this, Cap Wolf was playing.
Woo!
Yep. So then we have
Sorry, not woo. Ah woo!
Hailstorm Vintage, great little shop. They have vintage clothes, great vintage comic books. I'm telling you, you want to go get some Silver Age and Golden Age books, go there. They just got like a whole, they'll probably be all sold by the time people hear this, but they'll probably get another big old collection in. They are in Waynesville, Ohio. It's the greater Dayton area. And then we are also sponsored by Dubby Energy, great sugar-free energy. Just put a scoop in some water. There you go. You're good. 10% off code TCC 2025. 10% off. And that's it. So, George, I want to thank you for joining me and Superman for all seasons.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Sorry we recorded so late tonight. That was entirely my fault.
It happened. Hey, life happens. So, um, again, I want to thank everybody for listening. And until next time, peace out, Cub Scouts.